Hi, everyone, and welcome to Made to Dream. I'm your host, Maya Chanel, and today we are here with Vaishali. And Vaishali has one heck of a story, so we are here to let her tell us that story so that we can inspire young women and girls around the world to dream with their unlimited potential. So, Vaishali, why don't you go ahead and let everyone know a little bit about you so that we can get started on letting them know everything else?
Sure. Hello, everybody. My name is Vaishali Nikhade, and I help entrepreneurs and small business owners unleash their creative genius so that they can quit bleeding money and stand out from their competition in their niche. And I will just give you a small story, which is I was at a point where I was stuck and I wasn't sure where to go. So I consulted a lot of psychics, and that would be like around 30 to 40. And at that point, I realized that, oh my God, these people have no idea what they're talking about. I better go and learn this myself. So I decided to learn it myself, and now I teach people about intuition.
That is amazing. So, what can you say? Where is your story that led you to where you are today?
So what happened is I was working in I was in a place where I was working and I was stuck and I didn't know, how to get out of that situation. So
Mm-hmm.
that's when I decided to call the psychics, and I decided to study it because they weren't able to give me any guidance. And
Mm-hmm.
I studied it and I started doing readings on myself, and I saw them actually playing out and coming true. And
Right.
then I decided to go and do it for other people. And then I learned a lot of the techniques and strategies related to intuition and how you can use them in your business. And that's
Mm-hmm.
where I am today. And that's what I teach people how to do.
Right. So, in essence, you've been able to inspire a transformation in your life where you were stuck in a place and now you've used what you thought was, let's say, useful or going to propel you to the next step. And I want to know more about how you were able to inspire transformation by learning things on your own.
Sure. So, at every point in our life or every day, we make a decision. And sometimes some of these decisions may seem to be very ordinary, average kind of decisions.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a very subtle hint in it. And those subtle hints can only be picked up by intuition. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you my own story where this is a recent story. I had to go to a conference and I was unsure of whether or not I should go.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at it intuitively, and it was suggesting that I go. And I was dragging my feet, and I said, oh my God, how am I going to drive all the way? I didn't want to drive. So somebody suggested, you know what, you can take a bus. That way you don't have to drive and you don't have to fly either. So I decided to take the bus and I decided to go. And what happened is that one conference, it opened so many doors for me in
Mm-hmm.
synchronicity. So that was the last conference where people used to meet in person. Seems like a long time
Uh-huh.
ago. It was end of February, beginning of March.
Uh-huh.
And I met a lot of people, and it led me to joining a group, and then one thing led to another, and almost every couple weeks a new door would open up, and it was all
Mm-hmm.
from the contacts I made through the conference. And it was almost
Right.
like a series or cascade of doors opening up. And
Mm-hmm.
it's very difficult for me to imagine that all those doors would have opened up had I not gone and met those people in person. So
Right.
I want to say that every decision that you make, just value it, because you never know which small thing will lead to your big breakthrough.
Right. So I want to know, how are you able to shift to a space where you realize that the psychic readings weren't working for you? How were you able to shift to realized that you needed to take it into your own hands to learn more about it in order to be able to make a transformation in your life?
Sure. So the readings that I got from the people, this was a while back. So those readings, there was no direct answer. There was no direct action step. It was all vague. It was all very, nothing very specific. Sort of, oh, I see this, I see that. I'm like, just give me something substantial that if I do this, this will happen, or within the next week, this will happen, or anything which is I can verify in a week. And that's where I learned how to do it myself, where I was able to verify the results, like in a day, in a week, in a month, and I could see them play out. And there's a small story on my website, which is there was a point in my space as a student where I transitioned, and I got this aha moment where I said, oh my God, this really works. And this was when I was playing with the readings and saying that, I'm going to disprove you. And we can get in the story if we have a little time, but that's really what shifted. So there's always a point, there's always a straw that breaks the camel's back, and that was the straw for me.
Right. That sounds amazing. I mean, you can go ahead and share a little bit more of that story with us if you would like.
Sure. So what happened is, like I said, all these people, they weren't able to give me anything verifiable. And I actually come from an engineering background, and I'm very used to like concrete results. Like, if I do this, then I want to see this. And if it's not working, then I want to see why. Yes. So I wanted that kind of
unleash that creativity.
Yeah. I wanted that kind of a proof that, listen, show me something which I can verify, and then, I'll believe that it's true. So what I did was, this was when I was starting out, I said, okay, I'll verify it like in an hour. I should be able to verify if the reading plays out or not. And if I can verify it in an hour, then I can verify in a day and a week and a month and so on. So I used to go to the gym in the morning, and, the first 2-3 days, I would just look at the readings and see what they were saying. And it just so happened that they would always play out the way I would read them. And I was totally perplexed. I'm like, oh my God, how is it that somebody is telling me what's going to happen? I cannot let that happen. I'm going to disprove it. So, so then what happened is I used to have like cardio days in the gym. And during cardio days, I would either do like a treadmill or run on the street. And the second part is I would do a Stairmaster. So it was actually, there was a trail outside the gym. I would run on the trail. Okay. So I would either do the trail running or the Stairmaster. So I decided that, okay, so today is my cardio day. And if the reading says that I'm going to do the trail, I'll do the Stairmaster. And if the reading says I'll do the Stairmaster, then I'll go and do the trail. So that way the reading is going to be off and I will be right. So what happened is the reading was also right and I was also right. Do you want to guess what happened?
I don't know. Let me know.
All right. So this is what the reading showed. The reading showed that the woman at crossroads, which means that I was at crossroads and I was either going to go this way or that way. So even if I went on the trail, I would be right. And even if I went on the Stairmaster, I would be right. And so with the reading.
So it was going to work out.
So that was the day there was a switch in my brain that flipped and I said, oh my God, this is so amazing. So now you can use this for transformation. You can use them for making decisions. And
right. So basically taking control over your outcome of your life.
Yeah. So it's almost like us determining our destiny, then thinking that, oh, this is meant to happen or this is supposed to happen or, I'm kind of giving up sort of a thing. You don't have to be in that shoes. You can see that, okay, so
you can change the pathway that you're on.
Exactly. Absolutely. You can definitely do that.
Yes. So I want to know a little bit more about how you inspire transformation. I know that you help small business owners And I want to know a little bit more about how you implement those tactics into helping others build their businesses.
Sure. So each one of us has a unique DNA, and we are born with our own unique abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And what we can do is we can unleash our own creative genius into the product or the service that we are selling, because
Right.
all of us are attracted to a person for one particular reason. So let's say that
Mm-hmm.
I go to this big party and everybody comes and says to me, "Hey, you have really nice eyes." And then the second person says, and the third person says, and everyone is just attracted to my eyes. And I'm like, oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
I need to do something and sell my eyes somehow. So it's the same deal. You know, whatever is your unique DNA, you can unleash that creativity into your product. And if you do that,
Right.
your product becomes the nice shiny object, and everyone will come and say, oh my God, I really like this. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
selling, let's say, lipstick, then you can say, oh my God, I really love this color, or I really love this shade, or whatever it is that you're selling. You can make it stand out with your own uniqueness so that people get
Right.
attracted to it, and you can attract the right clients. Now, if somebody is not into eyes, then they are not going to come to me. But if somebody likes nice eyes, they'll come and walk up to me. So you can do the same
Right.
thing for your product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely. I think we are in control of our own creativity, and we are our products. So we have to be that selling point. I mean, people usually buy the person more than the product. So it's like you have to be that selling point, is what I usually like to tell people as well when they're starting up their business and I'm trying to help them brand themselves and their business. So I think that's a very important key that you touched on there. What would you like to tell young women and young girls? Like, what would you like to go back maybe to your 18-year-old self and know things that you've known now? What would you speak to young women or to your younger self and tell them now in order to not say like change how things were or prevent certain things from happening or save yourself some trouble, I would say.
Yeah, so if I had to go back in time and tell my 18-year self, I want to say that everything in life is an experiment. And if something doesn't work out, then treat the failure as a learning point for your next step and take what you get out of it and move on to the next thing. Don't just
Mm-hmm.
hedge all your bets onto one thing and just, keep beating out of it, even if you see that it's providing no result. Always have a
Right.
plan B just in case plan A doesn't work.
Of course. Of course. So we will link all of your information below about your businesses and everything that you have going on, your bio, everything that they need to know about you. What is one last thing that you would like to tell the audience that will inspire young girls and young women to reach their unlimited potentials and go for their dreams, even if they are the wildest out there, just to dream with unlimited possibilities? What would you say?
So, if they had to dream with unlimited possibilities, I would say that always pay attention to the signs you are getting from the universe. And if you are stuck between making a choice in terms of gut versus logic, always go with your gut, because logic can let you down at times, but your gut
Mm-hmm.
will never let you down. So always, always, always go with your gut.
Right. I love that. Trust your intuition. So we thank you for coming on our platform, speaking and sharing with us some wise words that will help us to reach our unlimited potential. And we're just glad to have you today and have you share your story. And we thank everyone for joining and tuning in to Made to Dream. And we'll see you again next time.